Puts up a tough shot. Bounces around. Goes in at the buzzer. Working it down to 2-1. A deep three. Oh!
It's population.
That's how you win a game.
It's population. We hustle every day to find picks. You can tell us if you want to get rich. It's population. We robbing Underdog and PrizePicks. We the best in this biz. You ain't telling us shit. It's population. We love making money quick, fast. Cooking up a team card. The whole crew about to smash. It's population. We do it for the fam, so everybody let's cash. The dopest team you ever seen. Winning money, stacking G's. Bookies setting traps, but they'll never catch me. Some people get addicted like rats to the cheese, but I got one obligation to bring Johnny to his knees. Holding back the props till the morning he knows. They'll be fishing in the shack, plotting nukes with the bros. Only with crawl, never reload. Elevated to my amigos. We go with honest, we seeking the bloods. We know when a fucking cheat code. Party that I'm sweating, they can't be good for my health. Some may call it making bets, I call it investing in myself. I'm picking props like stocks. Population for the win. Got my sips in by the buzzer now. Let the games begin.
Unbelievable. What just happened? He did it.
It's population. It's population. It's population. We do it for the fam, so everybody let's cash.
We are live. What's up, bro?
What's up, YouTube? Thursday, October 24th. We're getting our feet wet with the NBA. We got 4 games today. Yesterday was 10 games, and yesterday, talked about being the first set of games opening off for these teams. It ended up being pretty good on everything we talked about on stream together. The notes we took. Talked about Maxi's under PRA and RA. That hit, even though, man, that guy. I mean, we knew he was gonna be like that, right? Like he was gonna take as many shots as he could, and I think he took over 30 shots. And if the game didn't blow out, he was on pace for like 40 plus minutes. So
that was sweaty. Sweaty win.
That was sweaty. Schroeder was sweaty too. He was getting stocks, but luckily, he finished with 5 turnovers. So he stayed under his fantasy, finished with 25. Ben Simmons did what we thought. He had like a 6-7 line or something like that. And then did some dumb fouls. As usual, Zubac got his PRA. We talked as a group. Said Jalen Green was in a great spot. We looked at his history. He crushed them in the past. He got his points. I think he finished 28 points. And then we talked about Trae Young being a phenomenal spot. And he did his thing, man. He went off. I think he had 55 fantasy. I want to say like 30 points, maybe. Yeah, he did his thing. Matherin got did his usual thing against the Pistons and Jaden Ivey. It's that battle he has with Ivey. And then, Sengun, a good call by Ren. He crushed. Sengun had 11 rebounds, underrated in the first 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah, insane.
It was crazy. It's insane, man. And then Kuminga fell short with 10 points because of blowout. He only played about a minute and a half in the fourth. And then Ja fell short with 43. That was a high line. Right matchup, but just the line was a little too high. And I think what we take away from last night and what we started doing, which we did after the stream, was a lot more unders, because I think a lot of these lines are too inflated. One, because of the amount of minutes these guys are playing. They're not going to be playing, obviously, playoff minutes, and some of them are not even playing full minutes that they would play later in the season. So I think a lot of the fantasy lines are inflated, maybe even PRA. So I definitely consider unders for this first set of games over the next few days or week. And then, they'll readjust from there. But yeah, I think what else did we add after the stream? We added I went with Edie's under fantasy. It didn't make sense. His PRA was like 19. The half had opened at, and then his fantasy was 28. And I was like, this guy's not really getting stocks. And then going against Kessler, who's a shot blocker, we talked about in the stream, it's going to be kind of a tough matchup for him. First game of the season. And Edie fouled out, played like shit. And yeah, and then we added
he's messing up our rookie of the year picks already.
Yes. Oh, I didn't have Tobias Harris on here. We talked about Tobias. Yeah, I don't know why he wasn't on the notes, but we talked about Tobias to open the stream up. He went way under that RA. He finished with 3 RA.
I think he had one
That
at
was
halftime. That was the best.
Yeah, that one was pretty easy because of all those guys, like Cade and Duran. And Tobias is just not known to be a consistent rebounder. Yeah, and then I think there's some other. We added DeJounte Murray's under points. If that was too high. I mean, he played great. He filled up the RA, and then he ended up breaking his hand, but late in the game. But yeah, I think we definitely find some edge with the unders early on here. So with that in mind, we got how many teams first game opening games? We have the Spurs, the Mavs, and the Thunder Nuggets. Those are all the teams. And Kings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams, 6 teams. Only teams that have played a game are the Celtics and T-Wolves, right? Yep. So six of the eight teams are fresh, first game of the season. So let's see if we can look at their lines. This is kind of my first pass on this, so we'll do it all together. What's up, Kevin T? We in here. Sean Drake, what up? I have a 2-picker, under Wemby and Pool Fantasy. You're welcome and God bless America. All right, Sean. That's bold. I like it. We'll look into it. First game, Celtics at Wizards. So I kind of had a feeling going into the season that from what I read and saw, like the Celtics were going to just shoot even more threes than they did in the past. And they already were a 3-point shooting team. And now they're looking like they're going to be that even more so. So when you have a team that just relies on 3-ball, that makes the game environment super volatile because if they're hitting their threes like we saw their opening day, they're going to blow the team out the water unless the team can match them. But if they're not hitting their threes, then they could potentially get blown out. So, we saw that in the playoffs a lot over the last 3 years in the playoffs as 3-point shooting has increased. A lot of playoff games where one team in the series would blow out, then you see the next game the other team would blow out, and it was just due to the variance in 3-point shooting. And it was like whatever team got hot from 3 would blow out the other team. So that makes it really hard to predict game script, minutes, and just the overall game environment. So I mean, going forward, I just want to avoid Celtics as a whole, as a team, and then their games in general, because for that reason. Because on paper, like say for today, like they should blow out the Wizards, right? It's the Wizards, and we saw that the Celtics get done without Porzingis, but on paper, yes. But if their threes of that first game, the variance was in their favor and they were hitting them, almost broke a regular season game record for most threes in a game. But today they come out cold. The Wizards can hang with them for a lot of the game, So I don't know. I don't want to bet on that. I don't want to bet I think the Celtics are going to miss their threes today. So I think the game does go the full distance. Because one thing you could consider in the past is like we would take Tatum's unders, like PRA or fantasy, when we thought the Celtics were going to blow out a team like the Wizards or someone else, but in the Eastern Conference. But I don't know. I just got a bad feeling. I don't want to bet on a blowout on a team that we need them to make their three-pointers. Does that make sense, Underrated? Do you feel that?
I do. It makes perfect sense. You never know what's going to happen with teams with threes. So, and again, we haven't seen the Wizards yet, even though we think they're the worst team in the league. Pretty much. Let's see.
Yeah. I think it might be unfortunately, Underrated, I think it might be your Blazers, and I think Chauncey Billups.
Hey. Hey now. I mean, you don't gotta say it.
My Warriors beat them 139 to 105.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I'm used to it though. We've been bad for a long time. We had a few Dame years that were fun. We had a few old school years when we had Rasheed Wallace. That's about all I got. So I'm used to it.
Oh yeah, you guys had some awesome units, man. I liked a lot of those guys that came through.
Brandon Roy was the man.
Yeah, that's the name I was gonna say. Yep. He was awesome. But I know. I think they got to move on from Chauncey, so they probably will.
Yeah.
Sometime this. Yeah, they're probably the worst team, but we'll see. Hey, my 6 man of the year has off to a good start. Prediction, Buddy Hield. I think he dropped 25
Nice.
points. So
I saw they played a shitload of players too, so he did well in pretty low minutes, right?
Yeah, I mentioned that in the stream, and then I mentioned it to the group before the game started. I said, be careful with any Warriors player going forward. Steve Kerr wants to use a 12-man rotation every game, and you're going to get diluted minutes because of that. And he even used 11. He rotated in 11 players just in the first quarter. So
that's crazy.
It's not what you want. That's not what you want for taking overs.
I saw the Steph got himself 10 assists early in that game too, so that's pretty crazy in those low minutes too.
Yeah, he almost got a triple-double. Yeah, I would stay away from overs on that team because the minutes are going to be hard to project because Steve's just going to go with whatever unit's working and whoever's playing well. So you can't project the minutes. We want concentrated, predictable minutes. That's what we want for betting overs. Yeah, let's look at the Wizards, man. We got a new front court here. No Bagley anymore. Is he gone?
Oh, your favorite?
No, he's there. Okay. Oh, they drafted obviously the NBL star they call him, but I don't. Alexandra Sar. And then they brought in J-Val. They finally got a big man. They've always been going small. So yeah, J-Val, we love his unders, but now I don't think we can approach him the same way because we kind of figured out his rotations on the Pelicans, but he might have to play. His minutes might be secured now. So
I was just about to say that. I was going to say, can we take J-Val unders these days? But yeah, if he has minutes, might have to take J-Val overs someday soon. We'll see.
I know. He does well against Boston. I remember we took an under against them last season for him, and he just went off. They couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
I want to look at so the second to last preseason game is usually the dress rehearsal game. I didn't watch any of the Wizards.
Matt says, don't forget Sabonis. Sabonis under chance.
Yeah. Yes. Because can you blame me? Like, who wants to watch a Wizards preseason game?
No.
They lost 131-92 to the Nets. Wow. You might be right here, underrated.
What's that? Being the worst? Being worse than the Blazers?
I mean, I know it's preseason, but you lose 131-92 to the Nets, who look.
I don't know what it is, but I kind of get happy when Kuzma loses. I don't know why. There's something about that guy. I don't know what it is. I don't not like him, but subconsciously I'm happy when he loses. I don't know what it is.
I'm with you. Oh, you know what? They still have Rashawn Holmes too. So their front court's actually, it's pretty crowded. So J-Val is not locked in for minutes then. So, because they got Holmes and Bagley, both Holmes and Bagley are going to be better scoring options than J-Val in my opinion. So I assume when they're trailing a lot in games that J-Val will lose out of minutes and they'll look to scores like Holmes and Bagley in the front court. But we'll see.
J-Val and Sabonis under.
I want to see a game that J-Val actually played in. So did J-Val only play one preseason game? Oh no, okay, he played 4. He's not doing much scoring wise. Usually in the preseason, guys can score at ease. So yeah, he played in the last preseason. Bagley played 18 off the bench. Holmes played 6. Yeah, we could see. Yeah, we can see J-Val play low 20s, and then Bagley play majority of those other center minutes, and then Holmes like a 8 to 10 maybe, something like that. Love to see. What's his lines? Let's start with the Wizards. What's his lines? $11.5 points. PRA 20.5. Look at how he did head to head. I swear he played the Celtics last year. No? I swear he did. $20.5. Like last year, that's about what he was. Like he even got down to like 19.5. I remember at one point, 18.5 or 19.5. So it's about spot on what he was last year. I don't know, man. That seems like he's gonna get the rebounds for sure. What's his rebound line at? 7.5. Heavy juice on the over. So if we project him, let's put him. What's this? Let's put his minutes at 20 to 24. 25. There we go. He's got it's a little over 50% hit rate, even the minutes. So yeah, it seems like it's pretty coin flippy. So I might leave him alone today, guys. I don't know. I want to see his role. I want to see the rotation. What do you think on rating?
I need a pass button. Pass.
Yeah.
But I will say 7.5 does sound a little low. If I had to pick something, if he's out there on the court for 28 minutes, he should get 8 rebounds. But I'm not one to bet like that.
Yeah.
Rather save my money for some Claxton unders when we see he's not starting type thing.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. They had him at 31 fantasy, and I was telling everyone in the Discord group, I was like, "Yo, we gotta get on that." And then it right away, boom, it was off the board. But you got the PRA and everything else, and luckily he was ejected, right? So
yeah, no, he wasn't doing anything anyways. He actually had a good second quarter. He got 5 rebounds in the first half in 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was a little scared, but still worked out.
Yeah. What about Mr. Poole? I kind of thought he would come out today. You see a lot of these guys, a lot of these shooters, they come out early on in the game really cold. Like Cade Cunningham came out shooting cold. Then he kind of picked up in the second half. Halliburton was super cold. He was 0 of 6. And then, yeah, a lot of guys, if you just look across the board yesterday. So I think like first half unders can be really advantageous. And a lot of times with already these juiced PRA and fantasy lines, like the first half is sometimes even more juiced. So I think we can find some advantage there for these teams that are playing their first game. Because it's first time in real game action. Going to take a little bit minutes to get the feet under them, get their shot down, the feel of the game. So I kind of had a feeling Poole was going to do that, but it looks like, I mean, preseason, he's been the main scorer, hasn't he?
Sean the Don says Poole fantasy.
16 points, 5 assists. Yeah. I mean, there's no Tyus anymore.
You know what I think is good for him too, just mentally? I think that time has passed where you have this thought about him where you're relying on him and there's all that pressure. I feel like that's kind of gone now. So he can just kind of do his thing without anyone caring. Plus, this team is so bad, so he might put up numbers this year.
He could. With him, it's always like, is his 3 ball falling, and is he getting to the free throw line? So, because he's pretty crafty at drawing fouls. Yeah, I mean, see, there's a couple games in here. Typical Poole, he goes 1 of 7, 0 of 6 from 3, 1 of 4. And he had one decent 3-point shooting game, 3 of 5. So it's up and down, man. Like, I would not be surprised he comes out to start the game and he's like 0 of 4 from 3. So want to take a shot on that. First half under. What's his first half fantasy? 15.5, and his PRA is 14. I was hoping to be a little bit more juice than that. I mean, he will get turnovers, but if he's racking up assists, he could go over the fantasy and stay under the PRA. Pretty low lines, man. 9.5 points first half. Gonna dominate the shot volume with Kuzma. Kispert definitely will get into that as well. The first quarter, if my theory is right, the first quarter is kind of interesting. It's kind of D-Jenny, but...
D-Jenny.
So he's 4.5 on DK. Juice on the over, but still... He should be 5 flat on PrizePicks, not 5.5. Who wanted the fantasy?
Big Sean the Don. He said
He wants the under. Yeah.
He said under Wemby and Pool fantasy. I think he means Pool over though. I could be wrong, but
I think he means under both of them.
really? Sean the Don, you have to let us know. I like how his name's Sean the Don, I'll tell you the truth.
For me, it's either fade or under on Pool. I would never consider the over. So that's just me.
Poor Jordan. Ever since Gray punched him, bro, it's been downhill.
I just want to look at something real quick.
Matt says pool lines have been moving. People have been smashing the unders.
Oh, they have been? Okay.
Matt's been getting the early lines. He got the jaw yesterday. He had one other early line too. I forget what it was now, but Matt's on it.
It's been pretty. I mean, yeah. See, this is just so Jordan Poole, dude. It's like either scoring 2, 6, 13, or 2. I mean, yeah, he's volatile, man. Super Bowl. I mean, that's how shooters like him are.
That's why it's always unders or nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. But even the unders, like, look at that. I mean, it's like a yo-yo, man. It's like, okay, drop 6, and next game drop 2, next game drop 12, then 6, 5, then 2, then 10, then 8, then 2. It's just, yeah. And this is last year, and like the shot volume should go up even more so this year with this squad. So, I mean, to no surprise, I mean, look at the shot volume on this limited sample size from preseason. Poole, pretty much, yeah, just playing the first half, took 10 shots. And then Kuzma at 11. And then everyone else is like half that volume. The guy just looks like, man, who's just not shooting is J-Val across all the preseason games. So his first quarter is his full game points, man. Oh, it's 10.5. I thought it was 11.5. Is PrizePicks nerfing it? Yeah, PrizePicks is nerfing it. Why? I mean, it's only minus 128. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, I guess FanDuel's the only one at 11.5. Okay. It's a little low. And I don't know, like all these lines are super low without knowing these guys. Now this one is interesting. I'm interested in this. For sure.
Poor Alex.
What's all his lines? He was, oh my gosh. Did you watch him in Summer League?
No, not really.
He was so bad.
His name sounds bad already. Is that who Ren was talking about yesterday?
Yeah. I mentioned before the draft, I was like, this guy, he's going to get drafted in top 5 and he's going to be horrible. And sure enough, he's not it. So yep. He can rebound, but at the same time, I don't know. He didn't even rebound that much in NBL, to be honest. But NBL is a little different. Rebounding is weird. I mean, they play at such a fast pace and take so many outside shots that. But I mean, the Celtics are going to be taking a lot of outside shots too. So he's just he's big, lanky. He can get blocks, but 19.5. How do you do in preseason? I only followed him in Summer League, and then we'll move on. And I'm not doing anything for the Celtics unless you guys got anything. Okay, so he was probably playing majority of this cleanup crew second half preseason. He's getting assists, so PRAs might be a little bit sweaty. I don't know, either one, man. I'm down. Either one. PRA or points. Shit, they have his first half too. If you're worried, yeah. See, that's what I might have to do the first half because I think he'll play with the cleanup crew for development purposes. And he'll probably, if it blows out, I think he'll get garbage minutes. So yeah, I might have to lean
First half PRA.
Yeah. Because there's no way he's starting. They have him. RotoWire has him projected starting. No way.
That's how bad they are, bro. Wizards.
Why wouldn't they just start Kuzma at the 4, and then have Kispert come in at the 2, and then run Kabali at the 3. Is that really what they ran?
Well, that would be you thinking there's rational coaching going on, which a lot of times there's not. Big Sorry started the preseason game, huh? They're bad. He might start.
Yeah, well, let's Sar unders depending on lineup.
Cool. You think his lines are set for him starting?
I think so, because I don't think we would have gotten first half if
That's true.
He wasn't starting.
That's true.
If they didn't think so.
Okay.
Although we got Mathurin first half props yesterday, and it was known that he wasn't starting, so I don't know. But maybe it's actually better if he does start. Thinking about it now. Yeah, because he would have to compete with Poole and Kuzma for shot volume, and then he would go against the Celtics first unit and not like the trash like Sam Hauser, Cornette dudes. Like, well, I think Sam Hauser's actually questionable, but yeah. All right, moving on. Spent too much time on the Wizards. I think they're going to be super volatile today, guys. Because I mean, we gotta see. They could run a deep rotation here, and they could try out many different units. Is Sadiq even like recovered from his torn ACL? I don't even know.
I believe he's out, so I don't know what.
Yeah, he must be recovering from that still. I'm sure John Davis gets some minutes. They started giving him more minutes in the season. Patrick Baldwin probably picks up some. Yeah, this is gonna be a deep rotation, man. You're gonna have Holmes and Bagley subbing in the front court. So moving on. Unless if you guys pointing out anything you see. Spurs, Mavs. Let's look at the projected lineups. We got
Chris Paul, yay, on a new team again.
Yeah, so only big thing here is the Devin Vassell is out, so he won't be playing. We have Kellen Johnson coming off the bench, so maybe Castle, the rookie, picks up a little bit of minutes. I doubt it, but yeah. And then you got Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes, obviously. I think during the preseason, I went back and looked at some of the games. I think Chris Paul and Trey Jones played a little bit of minutes together, overlapped, not much. So I imagine they split the minutes pretty even. But we can double check that. And then so I don't know, because Sohan's gonna rack up boards and he can play make too. I'm thinking Chris Paul under PRA. I'm sticking to it, old man. You got Wemby who's going to do his thing, soak up all the usage. I wish Vassell was playing, obviously, but because Vassell eats up RA too. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see Pop running CB3 into the ground early on. Probably pace him out throughout the season, and especially since they have Trey Jones. He's been on the team for a while. Back him up.
I like that.
And if he gets it done, so be it. It's worth a shot. I think the under is in our favor with how at his age, at 39, on a new team, brand new team.
Mm-hmm. Only thing I look at is the matchup, right? Isn't Dallas a little scary of a matchup? I know it's still week 1, or game 1, but I don't know.
No, Dallas,
am I reading that wrong?
Dallas, well, they lost Derek Jones, but towards the end of the season, they were top 5 defense, right?
Okay. I don't know why I think it's Dallas as a defense that gives up a lot, but okay, cool. Even better.
Yeah. Towards the end of the season, they were top 5. After they got like PJ Washington, Derek Jones, and they changed up that unit, and they had
that's right.
Gafford, and
that's right.
They were like, yeah, that's what helped them made the playoff run.
That's right. I remember that now with Gafford, that they were more of a defensive team. That is true. I forgot about that. Okay.
But they did lose Derek Jones. I mean, Derek Jones did help that defense a lot because with his length and athleticism and how fast he was to cover ground. So, I mean, the defense might take a little bit of a hit, especially with Clay. Clay, his defense fell off big time the last 2 years in the Warriors. So,
do you think Clay's going to try now with the new team? Think we're going to see old Clay running around?
I mean, I think he's just going to be typical Clay. I don't think he really gives a shit. Like, if the shot's falling, he's going to keep shooting. If not, he's just going to chill.
Quinn's here. What's up, bro?
What up, Quinn? Yeah, so, man, it's so hard to take anything from preseason, so I mean, the assists are definitely going to be there for Chris Paul, for sure. So he had 6 turnovers in the preseason. Jeez. Maybe the fantasy under, but the problem is those assists rack up. Let's look at his numbers real quick. When he was on the Warriors, he had a 27% hit rate on this PRA line. You see, they did bump it up on I flipped it 22.5.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, from 21.5. So
wow,
a little bit better value now.
I think it's the name, the name of Chris Paul, right? Just people betting is over. It's game 1. It's Chris Paul. They're excited. People still like Chris Paul.
Yeah, and guys, you guys got to remember that Western Conference semifinal playoffs when he was on the Suns and Luka carried the entire Mavs on his back to come back and beat the Suns down 3-1. He he made Chris Paul look like the actual traffic cone that he is on defense. So I think he's gonna be a defensive liability out there on Luka and Kyrie. So I think he could lose out on some minutes because of that, for sure. So Trey Jones would definitely do.
I want to watch Kyrie and Chris Paul play 1-on-1. That'd be funny.
Right. And there's no way at his age. I mean, he cannot keep up with either of them. So Luka should do his thing, man. These teams. Luka played the Spurs opening game of the season last year, and he dropped 33 points. So I think you can feel pretty good about that discount prop at 25.5. Yeah, Paul can definitely. He's either going to get into foul trouble. I can see him making some turnovers here. It's just a matter if his three balls falling or not, if he's going to burn us. That's it. So, PRA or fantasy? I'm on the fence. Fantasy, what is it? Did PrizePicks bump it to 22.5? Well, if you're playing on books, I would take it the PRA, obviously. It's 22 flat. Oh, they bumped this fantasy. So when I looked this morning, when they first shot fantasy lines, I think it was 28.5. Okay, so yeah. Maybe the PRA. Another thing with him is that he doesn't look to score at all usually in the first half. And we know Wemby does his thing in the first half. You always consider his points under in the first half. That was like a money wagon for me last year. A little bit, it's different. He's on a new team, so who knows? Maybe for whatever reason he takes more shots in this team, but yeah. I mean, he's going to take a couple of threes, but I mean, if we look at his first half, yeah, some games. I mean, look at this. He had back-to-back games, 0 points, 0 points. Played the entire first quarter, and he's just passing. Literally just passing. 12 minutes, 0 points. Yeah, he's looking to set up others, man. I think that's what he does on this team early on. I might be wrong. Just going on a field. 5.5 points is sweating though, man. He hits 2 threes. Good night. But usually his 3-point prop is 1.5 for a full game. So like our odds, but yeah, he's probably gonna take 2 to 3 threes. So grab your finest towel and sweat that one. These are all just leans, though, man, because we haven't seen these teams at all, right? So, anything else from the Spurs? Wemby's at his usual high lines. Great matchup for him here against Gaff and Lively. What's his fantasy? 50? 57? No way.
Under.
No way. That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
You won't go under.
I won't. But I won't go over.
Yeah.
That's nuts, man.
But that's what Sean said. Sean the Don. He came with it. He said Wemby under, Poole under. I guess Poole under.
I mean, Jokic at 57 is kind of crazy, too. With a fully healthy unit. That's kind of crazy. Opening day. Oh, man. Those are high lines, guys. Very high. Yeah. I'm probably going to do first half unders for Chris Paul and full game unders as well. And then I'm not going to mess with any other Spurs guys, I don't think. Unless you guys got something. Unless I'm missing anything interesting.
Nah, first game still.
That's crazy. That there's 239 bets, 239,000 bets on Harrison Barnes rebound. Never did I think would ever see that.
I wonder if that's a lie, though. For real, like,
That's crazy.
who's to say it's real?
Yeah.
Michael Gates says he's coming in late, but is there any Celtics unders that you like?
Man, so I went back and looked at the data for Tatum. I think we talked about this first stream. Like the first handful of games of the season, he just goes off consistently. His lines are high. But the matchup and how just his past data and how he goes off, like I'm just gonna leave him alone. Maybe Jaylen Brown, but he could definitely go off in this matchup. I mean, it's scary going into this matchup. This is Wizards. Well, the Wizards and Spurs and Jazz were like the three teams last year that we targeted for overs, like on fantasy points, anything like that. So, and like I said, if for whatever reason the Celtics are missing their threes, and this game stays close till the fourth quarter, oh man, that's back and forth. Low chances of that happening. I think the Celtics get it done, but it can happen.
He's saying he said because he thinks there's going to be a blowout or should be a blowout. Yeah. But even if with the blowout, sometimes we've done that before, right? With Tatum and stuff, he'll be the reason it is a blowout, and he'll go over in 3 quarters.
Yeah. Man. Let's just quickly look at. I don't want to eat up too much time on the Celtics because we already went over this, like how them relying on the 3 ball. Like if their threes aren't falling, the game could stay close.
Right.
Oh my gosh, 56, 66. Sheesh. I mean, he's dropped 30, 35, 33, 28 on him. I don't know if I'm gonna leave him alone. Let him do his thing. If he flops, good for him. But it's the Wizards, man. You would need like a whole towel set for that sport, man. Yeah. I mean, Drew and Derek White are pretty high. Their fantasy.
He like your towel sweat. I think your towel set for sweat. That was his LOL.
All right. Where we? Spurs. Yeah, man. Keldon's gonna continue to come off the bench. Trey is now playing off the bench. We don't know how many minutes. We don't know for certain who's starting between Lively and Gafford, do we? I did not hear anything on that. It would switch off a lot in the playoffs, so I don't know. It looks like based on the lines, they think Lively's starting because Gafford is really low. His PRA is at 14.5? Why do you have PRA all the way at 14? So yeah, what do you think on it? That makes me think Lively's starting, right?
Not sure, but I do know my favorite thing is wait for lineups and when something happens. Is there anything that stands out if something goes one way or the other, or are they all kind of passy?
I mean, it's a great. Remember Senna's last year versus Spurs was
right. Murder.
Gold because whenever Wemby would check out, right? So when Wemby was in there, he was he's obviously a solid rim defender, blocker. But it was whenever you got Zach Collins out there, and there was like no Wemby. So actually, whoever is coming off the bench is going to have an even easier matchup against Zach Collins. So if it's like Gafford on the bench, these low lines, I mean, he could definitely get it done. What's his points at? 7.5?
Do you think, regardless of who starts, they're probably going to split even or so?
I think that's what they did last year, pretty much, right?
Yeah. So you want the guy off the bench, you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, yeah. For sure.
7.5 points.
Their like defensive rating like plummets when Wemby's off the court. So and they still have Zach, right? Foul Machine Zach. Yep. And Sandro. Yeah, I would actually like Gafford better. Zach doesn't pose a threat for Gafford getting in foul trouble either. So, yeah, I would. What do we have? Maybe just a PR. Let's just quickly check.
Yeah, no need to add needing 2 more assists.
Let's put him for. Let's put him in the 10 to. What do you guys think? 18 range? What are we projecting for? 10 to 16? I don't know. What? To 20? Okay, so he was traded what? April? Not really hitting this. Let me put it at 15 to 20. Yeah. I don't know. Wish it was maybe a little lower, because his reboundings can be. What do you average minute wise? I usually just play his fantasy, but we don't have it. So. Oh, okay. So maybe I didn't. Let's put it at 20 to 24. Okay, so he crushed him in February and March. 23 minutes, 24 minutes. He had 20 PR, 21 PR, and then let's just look at the season. Okay, so yeah, it's like I put it to 19 to 24. So as long as he can get up to like the 20, mid 20 range, I feel pretty good about the PR. I think. What do you guys think? Or can we not trust his minutes?
You know me. That's just me.
I'm pretty sure he was traded in April. Maybe? Yeah. Let's just quickly. I just want to see how he did it during the preseason.
Puka Nakua's back today. Oh, that's nice.
There you go. All right. Look at it. Still getting his blocks. Of course, we can't get his fantasy. All right, maybe the PR. You guys are down. Are they taxing it much? What's the line? Oh, it's minus 130 on the under, so we're gonna 13 flat. Yeah, fantasy would be the most ideal, man. But
AOD says all he knows is that we're all degens. United has one.
always. Or just the points, man. Like, if our theory, like, if you just want fastest route there, like, not relying on those rebounds, just take the points. So taking it's sweaty for Gafford, man. I always just take the fantasy. So maybe not force it, but the points, man. If he's coming off the bench and going against Zach Collins, and then he could get that pretty quick. He would just need two buckets per half, right? So You can look at it that way. You could get $2 buckets in a quarter. Anything else from that game? I mean, they've been holding out on us. Do we have Kyrie's first half? Our traditional first half under?
Forgot about that.
They've been holding out on it. There it is. 16. It's low.
It is.
We would always get it at 18
Right.
and a half, right? The PRA.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Spurs too. I mean, I could see him like only way like if he stays under is if like Clay is hitting his shots and Luka's doing his thing, and then Kyrie's just kind of doing his usual first half, take a back seat. But if Clay is bricking and Luka is not 100%, then maybe just Kyrie comes out and gets it done early, being fresh. I don't know. Might leave him alone, guys. Might leave him alone. Lively's fantasy is interesting. I think the Spurs will have a lot of turnovers here. Maybe just his first half here, because in case Gafford just like picks up more minutes in the second half, which is we've seen that before. I'm focusing on the front court because we've attacked the Spurs front court all last season. So, it's a pretty low line. I mean, if he doesn't get in foul trouble and he's playing 9 or 10 minutes or more, should be able to get that 11 and a half. I know the Spurs last year gave up they were top 3 in most fantasy points to centers. So, last 2 games he had 18 in the first half and 15. And early in the year, he's still a young rookie. He had 9 fantasy. Blocks are there, no surprise. So. Consider it. Just gotta see who's starting. Right?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, I think you definitely play the Luka discount for sure. First half fantasy,
Do you like
a little
that?
bit higher than normal.
Do you like that
Yeah.
Chris Paul under first half points more than full game PRA?
No, but I think what I'll do is I might do them both on PrizePicks, but I think I'll do the full game PRA on Flip, and then take advantage of first half props to diversify on PrizePicks. But I might do it on both on PrizePicks.
Okay. AOD says he'll be back in the club soon. He had to step aside, but he misses us. We love him.
All right.
We'll see you soon,
See you
sir.
soon, bro. Or his first half fantasy under, either one. But I mean, he could rack up 5 assists in the first half. So, anything else from that game, guys? Clay. They're just gonna ask him to go sit there and wait for Luka to drive and kick it out to him. So he's gonna have way more open shots with this team than he did on the Warriors. That's for sure. So he could definitely knock him down, but he could also just come out really cold. Start game 1. So maybe a first half under on him as well, and maybe instead of Kyrie. Let's see how he was shooting in preseason.
AOD says, Josh,
Yep.
do you like my Pistons this year for 9th seed lock? Sorry. You like his
Yeah.
Pistons? Okay.
Yeah, it seems like new coach is helping, man. Klay Thompson went 0 of 9 from the field, 0 of 6 from 3.
Oh, he's back to
0
his old
points.
ways. Okay. All right, Clay.
1
Thought you're
minute.
going to come with a new start. Guess not. Wow. Gross. That is so gross. Can we go Clay under? Nah, he'll go crazy.
No, I mean it's very similar to Jordan Poole, right?
Yeah.
Are they making their threes or not? You're betting on a guy to make his threes or not.
Yeah, I'm passing.
Yeah, I mean, what I would do with Clay, the thing with is if you're gonna do an under, I would do the first half because like a lot of times he'll come out cold and he'll just be missing his shots, but then he won't give up because the shooter's gonna shoot, and then the second half he'll just in one quarter he can just go off, right? So it just takes like one quarter and a half for him to get going. So I tend to take it when I do take his under, I do the first half for that reason. And I would think the PRA because I don't really see him getting much RA here with Kyrie, Luka, and even PJ Washington getting rebounds. So I'd probably say the PRA if you're gonna do one. Because what are the points at 9.5? 8. Yeah. But again, this is all super risky, man. We have not seen these teams in real game action, so this is not real. I would not drop real units on any of this stuff.
Sure.
Okay, next game. I think the next game is probably going to be the better game. I feel better about because like both units are pretty much the same, except OKC has a couple new players, and well, one of them's out, Hartenstein, and then the Nuggets have pretty much the same, but they lost KCP. So, yeah, we know what we're gonna get. They got Sarge, Nuggets, and Westbrook. Yes, right. You know, in the preseason, I saw they were playing Westbrook and Jamal Murray. They were overlapping on minutes. I wonder if they do that in the regular season much. But they were playing alongside each other. It's kind of interesting. If that's the case, then Jamal could take a big step back in RA department because already you have Jokic who dominates RA, and then you have Westbrook out there. That's all he's gonna do is rack up RA. So yeah, Jamal. They need Jamal for scoring now because I mean with Christian Braun out there, yeah, he can score, but they like his defense and energy. So they really need MPJ and Jamal to pick up the scoring even more so. Obviously, besides just Jokic, with them losing some shooters. This is a tough matchup for Jamal. We talked about it in the first stream. OKC's probably going to have one of the best perimeter defense. How do you feel about Jamal unders here, guys? I think if we look at it historically, he's struggled against OKC, and I think OKC's defense has gotten only better. But let's take a look. In the 4 games last season, he did not clear his point prop. 19, 15, 9, 16. Wow, one of the games Jokic didn't even play, and he still had 16 points. Yeah. And then if we look at his PRA, okay, he got close one game. His PRA is 29.5 the line. He had 29, 22, 23, 23. But again, Jokic didn't play that game, and he still only got 23. Man, I don't know. It's a tough matchup for him. It does help that it's in Denver, though. I wish it was in OKC. Because they have that elevation advantage now. How do we feel about his under PRA or fantasy? I'm thinking PRA. I'm thinking first half and full game. I don't know if you guys remember, like all towards the end of the last season, he just did not score much in the first half. Not to say that it's going to be the same this year, but his under points for a while was pretty solid. Is this regular season? Regular season. I guess it was just maybe in the playoffs because I guess he was getting worn down from and then from that injury he suffered. Yeah, see, I think it was probably the injury. Yeah, because he just wasn't scoring at all. Like not even double digits. I mean, 0 points, 2 points, 7 points, 4 points, 2 points. They said he's off the injury report. He's a full go, but we'll see. Because he was going into the offseason. Like in the offseason, he wasn't 100%. But let's just double check how he did in the playoffs. Or in the preseason, I mean. Okay, they played OKC in the preseason. Nice. Hardenstein played. Jamal did not play. Did Jamal play 80 in the preseason? I thought he did.
Now, what do you think about Jamal being so bad in the Olympics that maybe he'll come out here, chip on his shoulder, shut people up in the first game? Or he could just be hurt or shitty.
I mean, he was pretty shitty for these games, but then, yeah, this is a game he went off. He went 5 of 6 from 3, so he had 25 points. But look at the RA. The RA is not there, guys. I mean, because in the preseason he was playing with Westbrook a lot. I know it's only 19 minutes, but if you look at other guys' RA in the preseason, they were racking up RA in limited time. 1 of 4, 0 of 3, 5 of 6. Which one are you going to get tonight? I would lean in, if I had a pick, I would lean more so of the 25% range 3-point shooting because of the defense of OKC. I mean, if you just look at the data from last year, he struggles to score against them, right? So, they just dropped him to 18.5. Wow. On FanDuel, at least. I don't know what he's at in other books, but we can just take a quick look. I wouldn't, instead of the straight up points, I think I would do the PRA just because of if Westbrook gets decent run, and then we know Jokic is going to do his thing. So, all right, FanDuel bumped his PRA down to 28.5. So he's 28.5 some places, 29.5 in others. So kind of not knowing what to do with his PRA there. And then his points. Why I hate this site, bro. It's oh my god.
Yeah, it sucks.
Okay, so FanDuel is just adjusting him relative to others. They bumped his PRA down. They bumped his points down. But yeah, I think I would go with the PRA. How do you feel on it? If you wanted an under on him.
If you wanted one, yes.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, yeah, you could consider the Jokic under fantasy, but that's scary. There's no Hardenstein. I mean, he should have his way. If you look at the head-to-head last year, it did okay with his PRA. I mean, the games, I remember these games are always close between these two teams, and they're kind of like defensive battle struggles, kind of like playoff games. So, I don't know. Being the first game, I wouldn't fault you for taking an under on him. But let's see, last season, his first game, he dropped 29 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. So, Jokic usually comes out ready. His assists are kind of interesting for the under, but I don't know. Oh, they dropped it to 7.5. It was 8.5. Maybe it's just the FanDuel thing. Let's see. Oh, he's still 8.5. I don't know. If we take this line up to 8.5, Yeah, it's about 50%. And then head to head, I mean, 5, 7, and 12. 10 play. It's about it. It's a 50-50. It's not bad value on FanDuel though. At 7.5. Anyone has FanDuel books. I feel much better about that. That if you wanted to consider an over for him on the playmaking. Massive difference home away, right? So home, he had a 58% hit rate on his assists. Away, 50 or 44%. So and he's home tonight. If we take that down to 75 or 7.5 assists, he has about a 70% hit rate at home. That's a big jump. That's 7.5. 8.5. I mean, you're going from like a 58% hit rate to 70%. So good value on FanDuel. I don't know what he's at other places, but I assume it's pretty mixed. Yeah, it looks like he's 8.5 everywhere. FanDuel always does that. They do that with their MLB strikeout props too. They'll always be different, either lower or higher than the other books. Probably trying to get people they're giving a bargain price, trying to get people to bet on their site more so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wouldn't take the over at the 8.5. The under feels kind of coin flip-ish at 50-50, and then for the 7.5, I would consider on FanDuel. I don't know what it's on Flip. I assume it's 8.5 on Flip. But yeah, probably that's it for Jokic. Westbrook, I not touched on because I want to see his role on this team. And then on OKC, man, Jalen Williams is not an injury report anymore. He was coming in with the injury, but I think he's a full go. Caruso should definitely help the defense. He'll probably take some 3-pointers here, like he did on the Bulls. I think he's a much better ad than Giddey for this team. So, well, we'll see. Kind of want to see how he plays out. Yeah, that defense, man. Look at that. I mean, SGA, Caruso, Dort, and Jalen Williams, and then Chet as a shot blocker with his length. That's a solid defense. Very solid. What's the total? It's got to be pretty low. 227. Okay. Well, so the late night hammer, the other late night hammer is 222. Kings, Timberwolves. We just saw the Timberwolves. Underrated. Did you get the Julius Randle bet in at 5.5? I think it went to 4.5 everywhere else.
Yeah, I did last night. Yep.
I think I don't know if it's on Flip. It's still at 5.5, but I think it went to 4.5 everywhere. They had him at 5.5 assists last night. That's game hot. 1, it's only one game sample size we have. Julius had 7 potential assists, and Ant-Man, surprisingly, Ant-Man had 11. But when I was watching the game, my eye, it just looked like, to me, he had like a handful because the guy was just shooting. He literally took every shot on the team and didn't look to pass. Didn't really work out for him in that Lakers game. And the defense looked like crap.
I like how this site sets up those potential assists to see real quick like that. Nice.
How many they had?
Yeah, just real quick in each game like that, and compared to their points and all that, just right in front of you. Remember how we used to have to go a whole new site for potential assists and all that? It was just now that's cool.
Yeah, let's look here. Do they have it up? They don't have it up.
Oh, they don't have it yet?
Put assist.
I jinxed it.
Not seen it.
I jinxed it. I was just looking at it from last year at least, but I'm surprised they don't have it there.
I don't see it. Where's the potential assist? Oh, there it is. 7. There we go. It's there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, 7. Yep. So it makes sense, right? About 50% of his potential line is what he finished with 4. Now they have his line of 4.5, so that's 50-50 in my opinion. Who knows? Maybe Finch, Tua's head coach, wants Ant-Man to pass more, because that offense did not work. It was just ISO ball, Ant just shoot and not rotate. No ball rotation whatsoever. So he might pass more. His assist is what, 5.5. Minus 132 on the under. Head to head.
Randall
I mean, he
is.
can't have spike.
Sorry,
games.
Randall is 4.5 on Fliff. Now.
Yeah. Ant-Man could have spike games for sure on this. If like nods are hitting the shot and he's not just going straight ISO. But if he catches fire, then yeah, he's not passing. I think he just came out. That was like opening day. He came out excited, and he just wanted to put on a show in crypto arena. So, yeah, that T-Wolves did not look good today. That's one game, opening day, but defense looked a lot worse. Dante was just kind of very mid, a lot of bricks. Julius looked disengaged, just standing around, not really trying to get rebounds. He let the Lakers get 2 offensive rebounds from missed free throws because he was just standing there watching the free throw miss. One of them was by Austin Reeves, so it was like unacceptable. And then Julius got benched for that. So I don't know, man. You're pretty much, when you're betting on the T-Wolves, you're betting on Ant, and then that's it. And maybe some ancillary pieces like Nas Reed or Dante. Nas, his minutes kind of got phased out. Played there was a large stint of the third quarter. He didn't even play at all. So I don't know how I feel about the T-Wolves. And then the Kings, we got DeRozan on the team now, old man DeRozan, and everything else is the same.
Michael Gates says, "What you pairing with the tacos?" AOD says, "I can't lie, I miss these fucking streams, bro." And G-Man's here. What's up, G-Man? He says, "What's up, Josh? How you been?"
What's up, G-Man? What's up, IO? Lemonade, what's up, man? Heat sold me last night. Oh, what did you have for, man? You had their money line? That was a close game. Last time I didn't track it because I had no action in it, but I thought it was close majority of the game. Well, didn't Jimmy Butler have like 3 points?
Can't win like that. Yeah.
I don't know what that was about. Yeah. Someone asked, we're pairing. We're just going. This is the first time breaking down and going through the slate, so I haven't even really considered locking in any plays yet. But if I do find anything, I'll put it in the Discord. I don't think I'll have time right now because probably have to get off the stream soon. Call anything out here, but it was mainly just notes we had. A lot of it's waiting on lineups because I have no idea what the lineups are going to be for some of these, especially for the Wizards. Let's see if Lively's actually starting. I assume he is. So if he is, I don't mind. We talked about Gafford's props going against the Spurs second unit. But he's going to have to be efficient in limited time then because I'm hoping he'll at least play 20 minutes. That's what we're hoping for. So it's a little bit risky. Chris Paul unders are they're already starting to drop Wemby's fantasy down. And then Jamal Murray unders. Yep.
Poor Jamal.
Kings, I'll probably wait for Sabonis second half. Live bet him. That's the best time to get his unders. Is second half and fourth quarter. Definitely fourth quarter. Because Fox takes over and Monk. And he just is out there rebound pass.
Michael Gates says the Luka expires in 45 minutes. FYI.
Okay. We got time. Because we're about to get off here.
This must be the other Gates. I call him Kevin Gates, but I guess his name's Michael Gates.
Little Dante revenge here. Yeah, I think I kind of want to see how the Kings are now with DeRozan. I don't know. Sabonis. How does Sabonis do against good old Gobert? Gobert got manhandled by 80. We kind of predicted that, didn't we, on the first stream?
Oh my gosh. Everyone loves to just make Gobert look stupid. Donovan Mitchell, when he got away from Gobert, was like,
I gotta go. Oh shit! I gotta go.
Oh snap!
I'll be back, okay.
All right, what are you getting off stream?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be back.
All right, guys. Well, good seeing you. We will be back tomorrow. Love ya.